Hi, it's Tony Harris Taylor.
And it's Jennifer Calendar.
And we are excited to talk franchising another Saturday. Jennifer, how have you been?
I've been great. I've been busy. Crazy week, but it's been awesome stuff. What about yourself? How have you been?
I'm wonderful. I am busy, on my coaching side of my business. I'm working on filling my profitable events for Drastic Results event. And but some big things are happening on the franchise side as well. Last week I attended a franchise event in Dallas. I drove from Houston to Dallas. Now let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about this. So I looked at the roster of who was speaking. It was the CEO of IFA,
Matt Holler.
Matt Holler. It was the immediate past president for the last 2 years, Catherine Munson, and Tim Williams Chicken. All three of them I wanted to connect to.
Heavy hitters.
Yeah. So what did I do? I said, honey, you want to drive me to Dallas 4 hours up the road?
Oh, sure. You got your husband to drive you?
Yes, I did. And he drove me. We spent the night. It was amazing. And I was intentional. I met all three of them. Catherine and I have a meeting coming up soon.
Great.
Tim and I already met yesterday. I ain't playing. I am not playing. Y'all need to take a listen and learn. Show up, be in the room so that you can make things happen.
And that, that's funny you shared that, because that's right on the heels of and I shared this with you, Open for Opportunity that was here in Atlanta. When you talk about being in the room, met Matt Holler, went to lunch with Tim Williams. It was just an amazing weekend. So I know that was some good networking for you.
And I said, y'all know my girl, Jennifer? They were like, yeah, we know Jennifer. We are making a name.
Yeah, and that's great, huh?
Yeah, we're having a good time doing it too.
Yeah.
So you invited our guests. Tell us who they are.
Yes,
thought they were good.
I am just so they don't know this, but I am so happy to be working with them. They inspire me. Just because of their work ethic and just seeing the progress they're making with Encore Salon Suites. So I have the owners here that we will be speaking with. They're based here in Atlanta, and I have been partnering with them to grow their brand. I have been itching, Tony, to have them on the show, and I figured this was the great time because they're busy on the weekend, if you can imagine the business and everything. So we had an opportunity to get with them. So I'm just so happy to bring forward, look at them, Patrice and Sharice McKinney, owners of Encore Salon Suites. So we're going to be hearing from them. We're going to hear their awesome story and how they landed with Encore Salon Suites. And then some of the successes that they've had with building out the brand here in Atlanta. So take it away, ladies.
Welcome, Patrice and Sharice. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
I love that y'all not only are twins, but you've decided to do twin power and build a business together, which is amazing.
Absolutely.
So how did y'all get into the Encore Salon Suites?
Okay, and by the way, we like to call it twinning. We say we're always
twinning. Okay.
Twinning.
Yeah, so we started Encore. I started Encore actually in 2017. And our first location was in Atlanta, like near West Midtown. 16 suites. We just had our 4th year anniversary for that location. So that location is going great. High demand. We have a pretty lengthy waiting list. But let me back up and say I first saw this concept. I'm a barber. Well, I don't cut anymore, but I used to be a barber stylist. And so I went to a location and I saw this concept, but on a bigger scale. When I say bigger scale, meaning the suites were much bigger. So like you could literally rent out a space and run your own salon within a bigger space. So I kind of just did a lot of research and paid attention to the build out. I went to a new location and watched them build it out. And I was like, wow, this is definitely like the newest concept in the hair and beauty industry, mainly because as the salon suite owner, we offer the beauty professionals the opportunity to be their own boss. And, you know, nowadays, everyone wants to be their own boss.
Mhm.
So what we do is we pretty much lease out single suites, majority single suites. We have a couple of double, but we lease them out to anyone in the hair and beauty industry. So that can be a cosmetologist, a barber, braider, makeup artist, teeth whitening, anything hair, beauty, and spa related. And we like to stay within that industry. And it's just been a success since then. Our second location was in Marietta, Georgia. And we recently just opened our third location in Sandy Springs, Georgia.
We
So
had the grand opening this weekend.
we did. We just had our grand opening and it was such a success. And this location is really special to us because it's not only our biggest location, we have 23 suites, but we experiment a little bit too. We have a content room where we're allowing the beauty professionals to rent it out for a small fee to help them with their brand, to help them with one-on-one courses and coaching and content. We all know content is really big right now. And also this was our first full build out. So the other two locations, they already had some rooms in the building. We didn't have to necessarily start from scratch, but this location we did. And even though we built it through COVID and had a lot of bumps in the road, we still pushed through. And I recently brought my sister on board about maybe, has it been what, 8 months, Sharice?
Yeah, something like that, roughly.
She's truly, really technically always been on board since day one. She was there helping me paint and whatever we needed, but she's officially on board now as of about 8 months ago. She's the president of Encore, and we also co-own the newest location, our Sandy Springs location. So having Sharice on board, honestly, has truly been one of the best decisions I've ever made because, you know, I've realized I was doing a lot of things the harder way. I was doing a lot on my own, and Sharice really came and stressed the importance of systems and automations and have really implemented a lot of what she learned in the corporate world into our business, which has helped us scale a lot. And she also works very closely with Jennifer in our franchise department to make sure our franchise is growing. And we currently have 2 franchise locations. We have one in Atlanta, and our franchisees just signed a second location in Woodstock, Georgia. So those 2 are locked in, and we're talking with a few other people. So we definitely believe this year is going to be a pretty big year with us, for us, especially having Jennifer on board. So that's my spiel and intro for Encore.
I love that. Beautiful.
So so she's not doing, she did a little bit of justice, but she's not doing Sharice enough justice.
Help me out, Jen.
I would say she's about the systems and the tools, and that's what I love because my background is IT. So Sharice can share a little bit about, you know, the operational aspects and how we're kind of partnering to expand the footprint outside of Georgia. So Sharice, you want to share a little bit about that?
Sure. So, you know, systems and processes, things like that really just make a big difference in a job. You know, it can really make or break the job or make or break how you feel in regards to working the job. So that's one thing I was really just crucial on making sure that we didn't overwhelm ourselves since we do already have enough going on. So let's just try to work smarter, not harder, as my sister always says, and put those processes into place. So pretty much I just came along, you know, she obviously had been doing it well enough as she was succeeding, but it was just to systemize it, especially as we grow, so that as it gets bigger, it's not chaotic and all over the place. So just things from like our onboarding, when we have new tenants coming on board, systemizing that down to a step-by-step process where when we have our manager, whoever may be doing the onboarding, there's no step that's missed. And down to all the paperwork, the onboarding paperwork, the process with the business license, when they leave, just everything. Literally, there's a system for it all. We have automations, things like that, where really the business just works itself. And that's one thing that we take pride in, is it is a semi-absenteeism job where you don't have to be present for this business to work itself. So that's the beauty of it, is that we really never go into our salon suites unless we just have to, or we want to go say hey, or we want to bring them a treat or something like that. But it's definitely one of those businesses that will allow you to tap into other things and expand your brand even more by implementing those things.
Yeah. So I find that's very important, and that's a lot of what the interested candidates want to hear. If they can be semi-absentee. So exactly. In saying that, you know, you all talk about the technology, So talk about how you're able to kind of stand up the business in a semi-absentee format, allowing the ability not to be present in the building, because I think this is a huge differentiator.
So that could be systems from just how they enter the building, making sure all of that's automated. The alarm system, make sure that's automated. The communication, when you're dealing with a bunch of tenants, so we have 24 tenants at this specific location. How do we manage, their concerns, or if they ever need anything? And to be quite frank, they don't really need much. Maybe once we get them onboarded, but for the most part, they don't. But that's where we have our general manager in place, since we do have several locations that kind of takes care of that for us, where they can, I'm sorry, let me take that back. We have our salon manager at each location that is our point of contact for our tenants. So for instance, at our new Sandy Springs location that we just opened, we do have a salon manager there. All of the tenants, if they have any concerns, if something was to go wrong in the salon, if they just had an area of opportunity, they would go to their salon manager, who acts as the liaison between us and them. So that handles that part. Just even the system.
Keyless entry, the digital board at the front entrance that allows people the directional points that they want to go in. Yeah. All of those elements kind of help you to self service yourself, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what I love about it.
We also have a software too, so of course we do our payments automatic. We're not one of those owners that's going in saying, "Hey, pay your rent."
Yes.
Be on the beach in Florida collecting rent. Right. We have a software in place where we're able to track. We can do reports per suite. We can see how much each suite is making. We can run reports on the overall business. We take our payments through there. We can communicate to the beauty professionals through the software. And also we offer the beauty professionals a free website, a free booking site, once they sign up with our software, where they're able to customize their booking site, very low processing fees for their clients. So it's a win-win, but we really love that software because literally everything is on there. Everything is
wonderful.
All automatic.
I have a question. So what's the vision? How did you go from being the owner of a suite to now wanting to franchise? And then is the vision Georgia, local, or national?
Great question. So yeah, as I was cutting and I was leasing a suite myself, I walked through and I said, well, hold on, I'm paying $250. She's paying $250. I did the calculations. I said, whoa, this is pretty lucrative. And so what I did, I stayed
per week.
Exactly. $250, $350. And we're talking about space the size of like 95, maybe 105 square feet. I always compare it to real estate. I say we're taking space the size of like some bathrooms in a home, leasing it out empty and generating $250 a week, which equals out to $1,000, sometimes $1,250 a month off of that one space. So I stayed there. The owner wasn't really in the hair and beauty industry, and I think that's where he lacked a little bit. Me being a beauty professional, I knew exactly what the beauty professionals needed. So I just paid attention to how he operated his business and learned a lot. And initially I wasn't thinking franchising, but I was thinking, okay, I want to start my own brand. So I did start a brand with a gentleman and went really good. The partnership really wasn't the best. So we parted ways, and then I started the Encore brand. And so franchising came about because of a friend who actually used to sell plates and stuff at the location. And he was like, well, you should maybe franchise your location. And I had never thought about it. And he was like, well, like McDonald's, people want to buy into your brand. At the time, I was teaching people how to start their own salon suite brand. And I said, yeah, let me present the opportunity for people that do want to join our team and invest in my brand. So did a little bit of research, and I said, I want to go for it. I don't know too many people that's done it, but hey, think big, dream big. So went for it, found a consultant, paid the fees, did all the paperwork. And so we're here today. So I'm just thankful to have that friend around that even put that in my ear, and had that vision and shared it with me.
Yeah.
That's how we got into franchising.
So where are you wanting to grow to?
Good question. So we definitely would like to grow outside of Georgia. It's very saturated. I think it's really, really big in the Atlanta area. But we're looking Florida. We love Texas, the Carolinas. I know we're speaking with a few people in like Illinois and Virginia. So we want to open everywhere.
Right.
So
wherever we're welcome.
Sky is the limit.
I love it. And who's an ideal franchisee?
Ideal franchisee. And so let me make this clear too. To own a salon suite franchise, you don't need any hair or beauty experience at all. No licensing or anything like that. That's one of the biggest misconceptions. So I would say our ideal candidate would be someone who just basically has good management and good communication skills. I think that those two go such a long way, especially the communication skills.
Yeah.
And if you're a great listener and a great team player, I think you'll be the perfect, candidate. Again, it's, we've really taken the time to systemize everything. So once you get into our systems and we provide all of the documentation, all of the marketing material, we provide ongoing support. We'll come out to your location and really make sure you're set up, and the goal is for you to be just as successful as us. But yeah, if you can, have good communication skills and good management skills, you'll do great.
And that's what I tell the clients that I speak with about Encore. You're getting the support from the owners, and that's the beauty of emerging brands, right? You have less than 50 stores or footprint, and you're motivated to make sure that, the incoming candidates and franchisees are successful.
Exactly.
So I think that's the beauty of an emerging brand, and I love working with them.
Exactly.
So if you could so when you talk about Atlanta being saturated,
Mm-hmm.
And which is true, but I feel like Encore has some really strong differentiators. So can you talk about that?
Sure.
Yeah. So one of our main, our brand alone is just different. Look at the owners. But and one of the main things that I know that our beauty pros definitely like is the way we allow them to come in and customize their suite, and to really let their personality come reflect in where they're working. So we allow them to come in and hang photos. We paint, and we have a process with that as well. Just making sure that things are getting damaged and stuff like that. So just speaking back on processes. But they truly love, your traditional salon suite. They pretty much are kind of just set with, they have the furniture, they have the, you can't really do anything to the walls, and you kind of just have to deal with that. We offer unfurnished suites, which after we did a poll, we realized that that's what most beauty pros actually prefer, is unfurnished, so that they can come in and again, bring in, a purple chair, a green chair, and paint the, the walls. And so that, I think, helps with our retention, because they want to stay, they feel at home, they've invested into the space, so they just, they're that much more comfortable and feel that much more like a boss, and like it's their own salon suite, which is again what we promote, is come be your own boss. So that's one of the main things. I think just our overall flow and feel of our salon suites, and that's one of the things I hear too. It's just, I think it just gives just a real genuine, just good feel. I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah.
The look and feel of it is different. We have a twin who, is a pro at it, and, offers the educational piece. So they have that advantage where they're able to get the educational piece that she provides with her book on how to become a six-figure beauty pro, and how to eventually maybe come from behind the chair. As we know that one day they will have to, and be able to possibly do what we did. As well as we do even little things like bring in financial advisors and things like that to help them understand the financial aspect and how to properly budget and manage their money, and how to just be able to scale. So when that time comes where they're able to take it to the next level, they're already set and ready to do that from a financial business setup point of view. So
let's talk a little bit about, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Let me just piggyback a little bit, Tony. So that's a huge differentiator. When you're talking about let me tell you how I felt when I first went into Encore. It felt like community to me.
Yes,
that's
and I've gotten services before at other salon suites, and I don't feel that, because I just go directly into my little area where I'm getting my service, and I don't. But it felt like community. Everybody was so welcoming, and I don't know if you guys did anything to instill that or anything, but everybody spoke, and everybody was like, "Oh, you need directions?" Somebody asked me, "Do you need directions?" I'm like, "No, I'm just walking." But it felt like community. And I think you guys were, and you don't toot this horn enough, but I feel like you were intentional in creating that environment, because you're set up. You have a common area for the wash and the dryer station, and they're not in the suite. So I feel like that promotes community.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
That is one of the biggest differences too, compared
Yes.
with other competitors, is that we do our model a little bit differently, where instead of fully furnishing every suite and putting a dryer and a shampoo bowl in the suite, where the beauty professionals really don't need to come out and they don't even know who they're working next to, go back to that poll, we asked them and they prefer unfurnished. So what we did is we created that community space where we put 4 or 5 shampoo bowls and 4 or 5 dryers in one space. And so they're able to still have their privacy in their suite, but then they can step out and go to the shampoo bowl and to the dryer and meet other beauty professionals and ask questions. And so that really helps create the community. And like Twin said, that keeps our retention rate low, because now they're all friends. They hang out outside of the salon.
Yeah.
And also, as the owner, you save a lot of money on the build out. So you don't have to spend $1 million on a salon suite build out. You know, the shared shampoo and dryer concept works perfect for us.
Well, speaking of $1 million, that was where I was going with the question on funding. So you all in 4 years have done some drastic things, even when COVID was around, and trying to, mitigate that. But yeah, qualifying for funding. Talk about that a little bit.
So for us, or just for franchisees in general?
For you all.
Okay, well, to be quite honest with you and transparent, our first 2 locations I actually funded just for my personal savings,
Sure.
which I don't recommend. I'd recommend that you figure out a way to use other people's money and to get a loan and funding so you can really, leverage. But this third location, we did get some funding through the SBA. Now, the SBA actually recently deemed Salon Suites real estate, so they no longer offer a direct loan, a franchise loan for Salon Suites. Before, years ago, they did, and other companies were able to scale really, really big. But there are other options for the SBA and outside of the SBA. So I know Twin has a couple of connects as well that we like to try to help our franchisees with. And we're actually still trying to figure out a team of people that can help and assist our franchisees with funding, to be honest with you.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, I think with the demographic that you're looking at with Encore Salon Suites, that approach of creative funding comes into play.
Absolutely.
I think so. Leveraging those resources where they can be creative in funding.
Exactly.
I think that's
It definitely helps to have good credit and business
Yeah.
credit and things like that, to just make it that much easier and give you that many more options to be able to go get the funding. The funding is out there. If you want it, you're determined, you shall get it.
Yeah.
That's key. You're determined.
Yes,
That part. Exactly.
Absolutely.
that's the key.
Yeah.
So when you talk about funding, let's break down the numbers. So what do the numbers look like?
So to open a salon suite business, you could be looking at anywhere from 80,000 to, on the high end, maybe 200,000. So that really depends on the building that you choose. Like I mentioned, our first 2 locations, one of them was an old dental office, so they already had a lot of suites in place. They had the electrical, the plumbing in place. We only spent about 80,000 to transition that into a salon suite business. Whereas our Sandy Springs location, as I mentioned, is a full build out. Nothing was there. That was on the higher end, closer to 150, 200,000, and it was a bigger location. So, the startup costs definitely can vary. As far as profit, we can use a location that has 16 suites. So 16 suites at about $250 a week per suite. You're looking at, I believe it's like almost $250,000. It's like 240 or something like that. A little short of $250,000 in gross. After expenses, you could easily net about 140, 150 off of just 16 suites.
That's great.
And so you don't have to go really big. You will see some of these salon suites, they have 30, 40 suites. You can do 16 and still net 100.
6 figures. Yeah.
Exactly. Well over 6 figures for 16 suites. So that's another thing we push too. You don't have to break the bank to be lucrative. And also, you don't have to be in a prime area, like a metro area. Like, for example, everyone wants to be downtown Atlanta and Buckhead. But the reality of it is, people all around the world want to get their hair done and want to get service. So it may be a scenario where you just do 15 suites in a smaller city or something like that. But it can definitely work anywhere in the world, for sure.
So I heard you have a book. Did I hear you say you had a book? Patrice?
You didn't hear me say it, but I do have a book.
Well, I heard Sharice say it, but I heard it.
You heard it.
$100,000 salon.
Oh, the sixth grade. Okay, you're talking about the course. The course. So yes.
Of course. Okay.
So I have a couple of courses. I have a course to teach people how to start their own brand. And then I have a course for the beauty professionals specifically, just teaching them how to be professional and how to really scale their business. And like Twin said, how to prepare for retirement. If you get injured, you know, there's a lot of things. It's really easy to get stuck in this industry and get stuck behind the chair. And I feel like this is the industry that's really neglected when it comes to just teaching them how to really scale their business. So I have a free ebook and I have a course where I go dive a little deeper in the course and just break down exactly how to operate. And like I said, how to budget, how to market, and things like that. So we give that to our beauty professionals for free, the ebook. And of course that helps us because we want them to be professional so that they don't, you know, cause us any issues or anything like that. So, and more importantly, we genuinely want them to win. We genuinely want to see them win. And I think that's why our brand is so big too. People know that about us. You know, we're not just collecting their money. We actually want them to say, hey, I used to work at Encore and now I own this, or I'm a successful person here. So we really want them to be successful and be professional. And it helps everybody.
Tony, I can see some wheels turning over there. What are you thinking?
You know me so well. You know me so well. So, yeah, we'll talk later.
Okay.
But I love this. And
I know.
What is your website?
Our website is EncoreSalonSuites.com. And we, of course, we have a franchise page on there. We have, if anyone wants to lease a suite, you know, everything you need is on our website. And so one other thing, if you don't mind, I'd like to touch on real quick, because this is really big for potential franchisees, is no employees, right? We have 0 employees. So how that works is we don't have a receptionist because it's not necessary. We have a digital directory, as Jennifer mentioned. And so as soon as you walk in, you're able to find your beauty professional just looking at that digital directory. So you don't really need a big lobby space at all. You don't even really need waiting area at all. So it's no employees. And so what we do is we just appoint, like Twin said, one beauty professional that we trust that's there most of the time as the liaison between us and the beauty professionals. So if there's a plumbing issue or an electrical issue, instead of 30 people blowing up our phones, now we're working full time. Now it's not semi-absentee. We appoint one person so they all know to go to that salon manager. She's the only one that has our cell phone number, the only one that can contact us directly. Everyone else is via email. And so how we compensate her is simply just discount her rent 10-15%, equals out to like $50 a week, $200 a month. And that's how we compensate that. So she's technically not an employee for us, just kind of acts as a liaison. We give her a little discount. And it just saves us so much time and hassle from having to deal with, you know, I think total we have maybe like 70 beauty professionals.
Wow.
And see, what I love about it is she's thought about ways to make it make sense and cut costs down for potential franchisees. That's all instilled in the business. And I just simply love that.
Yeah.
So when you talk about an Encore Salon Suites, it's on the lower end of an investment when you look at the Salon Suites model, but you get it packed full of technology, support, all of this. So, and then you got a caring team that's looking out for your best interest. So it's just a huge win for me.
And Twin created an SOP. Twin, share that with them and how beneficial that is for the franchisees.
Yeah, so just created something that they could reference, you know, SOP for those that aren't familiar, standard operating procedures, but that they can reference when it's something as simple as how to update the directory or how to onboard a tenant, or even what to do with an irate, an unhappy customer. Just literally, I try to think of every scenario that could happen, whether it's something that we personally deal with or not, just whatever may come to us as a salon suite owner. And I've just put it in that SOP so that they can easily reference it versus calling us all the time. Not that we don't mind supporting, obviously the support is there, but just to use our time wisely and make sure that they have that readily available that they can reference at any moment.
Yep, and they can search whatever they're looking for. They can search it and it'll pop right up. So
yeah, and it's online. at their fingertips. Wow.
Yes.
Yep.
So talk to me about the retention. What does that look like?
The retention is
Right. No, I'm just playing.
so we've done so good, and we've been blessed, and we expect it to continue, but our turnover rate is pretty low. For example, our Atlanta location, I mean, we went almost a year without anyone moving out. I think at Marietta, we have maybe a suite or two that just became available.
Yeah.
Sandy Springs, we just opened. We have 4 suites left out of 23 suites. So we should have that location full. So we're usually at 100% capacity. And even then, we still try to just keep our brand on people's brain. So we still may do some marketing, and also as a franchisee, we'll teach you exactly how to market, how to pre-lease your suites at no cost. Because me being a beauty professional, I know exactly how to target beauty professionals in that area. Lost my train of thought. Oh, so that's why. So what we do is we generate a waiting list. So in the event that a suite does become available, we reach out to that waiting list, and we're usually able to fill it literally like the next day.
Wow, amazing. So Tony, you can hear that these ladies are passionate about what they do. I love working with them. I love presenting Encore. Anything else, Tony, you want to share before we close this out?
No, but yes, I love what you all are doing, and I'm in Houston,
Okay.
so I will
We'll be
keep
out there
my
soon.
eyes and ears open. Say that again, Sharice.
I said we'll be out there soon. We get a lot of Texas inquiries in regards to franchise, Houston and Dallas to be specific. So in a matter of time, we will have a location out there in Texas.
All right. Well, you might have it sooner than later, because my franchise is network in action. It's all about networking and connecting people. And if I must say so myself, it's a gift for me. And so don't be surprised if I'm passing Jennifer leads for you.
Awesome.
Yeah. And she is the networking queen. Okay. Well,
Nice.
we have enjoyed this time with both of you. Thank you for spending the time with us. And I just look forward to, working with Encore, continuing the work that we're doing and bringing it outside of Georgia. And you said it, who said it? Patrice said it. 2023 is going to be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, ladies.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Take care. All right, Jennifer, that was amazing. Thanks for introducing me to 20.
Yeah.
They're doing big.
They're doing big. Yeah, I love them. I love them. I love working with them. And anything I can do to support them, that's what I want to do. And I think this is a great kind of avenue to get them out there as far as their brand and what they're doing.
Awesome.
And they're so humble. You can see they don't want to toot their own horn, but yeah, it's worth tooting.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And I don't have anything to add for the rest of this, but you rock, by the way, Jennifer. I want you to know I'm so glad that we were brought together and that we took action, and things are just coming together.
It's taken off. Yeah, it's taken off. And with strong brands, I think, it's just going to bring more visibility to us as well.
And the other thing I want to do is be clear that if you hear a brand that you are interested in, contact Jennifer, because she is the liaison between you and the brand. She does all of the work for the brand so that they don't have to. So please contact Jennifer if you're interested in Encore Salon Suites. And again, it's a business move. It's not about being someone who does hair. I love it.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to say goodbye.
Bye. I'm going to say bye as well. But we have a very important announcement coming up, but we won't announce it now. But we do in the next.
We're excited.
Yeah, we'll have a big surprise for our audience. So bye, Tony.
Bye, Jennifer. We'll take